It is your boy T, the overly emotional movie reviewer, and I most certainly tear up every time I watch Armageddon. At the beginning, when the asteroid destroys New York City, it chokes me up. Every disaster movie where they destroy New York, being a New Yorker myself, I feel the pain of the city every single time, which leads me here to my latest review, A Quiet Place Day One. A Quiet Place Day One is the latest movie in the Quiet Place franchise. This time moving away from the small town setting, this movie stars Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn as two people trying to survive and make it off the island of Manhattan and escape the aliens who have invaded Earth. And while the movie is titled Day One, it actually takes place over the first few days of the invasion. The highlights. The highlights of this movie start and end with the strong performance of its leads. Lupita is simply amazing as Sam. The movie starts with us meeting her in a hospice as she is dying of cancer, and they take a group into the city to see a show. While there, the aliens come down, and the rest of the film, she's there fighting to survive. Her performance highlights her range because most of the movie she is silent and she has to emote with her face and her body language, and that's what she shines through. I found myself right there with her as she tried to survive and make her way through the city. Equally to the task was Joseph Quinn, who plays Eric, a law student from the UK who is here in NYC going to law school, and now he's trying to fight and survive and live. He latches on to Lupita and they develop a friendship while trying to make their way off the island. I can't say that I'm the biggest Stranger Things fan in the world, so I didn't even recognize him when he popped up on the screen. But with him going on to play Johnny Storm in the MCU's Fantastic Four movies, I think they are really in good hands because this kid was amazing in this movie. He showed a true amount of range and held his own with Lupita and then some. They really held this movie up because it was very formulaic and hit most of the horror alien beats, which isn't always a bad thing when done properly. Saying all that, this movie isn't without its flaws. The lowlights. I didn't want to talk about this in my video, but I looked at YouTube and the guys down at Double Toasted put it in their thumbnail. That damn cat. Sam's emotional support cat that we saw in the trailers was the third star of this movie, and it angered me so much in the second and third act of this movie. I really don't like it when movies shoehorns animals in movies because they know humans attach to animals and it enhances viewer engagement, especially when they throw dogs in movies. This time it's a cat, and the cat was like the feather in Forrest Gump and it was everywhere. And as a slight spoiler, this cat doesn't much as meow in the entire movie, even when completely submerged in water, and we know that'll set most cats off, but not this one. It almost took me out of the movie that they were moving hella quiet and the cat not so much as purrs during the movie, but I digress. Another low light was the absolute misuse of the New York setting. What I loved about the first two Quiet Place films was the small town vibes and the location which played into the claustrophobic feel of the movies. With it moving to the big city location, I thought this movie would feel a lot bigger in scale. And while it did in some instances, the city still felt extremely small, which to me personally I thought was a missed opportunity to tell a bigger story. This one felt just as small in scale as the first two, which isn't the worst thing, but I just was expecting bigger. And I've lived in Harlem my entire teenage life and I've never heard of Patsy's. I did some research and they have two shops, but they're in Lower Manhattan and not in Harlem. Aside from that plot line, which didn't hurt the movie for me as much as I thought it would, overall I had a really good time at the theater with this film. So who exactly is this movie for? It's for cat lovers certainly, and for fans of high-tension horror and alien movies. The Death Angels, as I've heard them being called, look scary as hell in this movie, and there were so many of them, which was great. We got to see it wasn't just hundreds that took us out so quickly, but thousands took the city and millions took the earth. I definitely do recommend you see this in the theater. With the sound cranked up, every little noise was accentuated and I felt that I was in the world, terrified to make a sound in the theater. But have you already seen A Quiet Place Day One? What did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you go eat pizza after the movie? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, if you like this content, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the Have You Seen That With T YouTube channel. And until next time, stay cool in this summer heat and don't move too loudly, and I'll catch you later.